home from my school Friday evening, and this was looking like it would be a boring old weekend. My friends didn't have any plans to do anything, so I stayed home for the night. My dad mentioned that tomorrow he was going to take my sister with him to her volleyball tournament, which was a couple of towns away. He figured that I could go with them because I had no plans. At first, I really didn't want to go, but at this pace, the weekend was going to be crap anyway with nothing to do, but at least he presented something that I could do. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to wake up that early in the morning on a Saturday and then be out of town all day and risk losing possible plans with my friends. Once it got to about midnight, I decided that I was not going to go. I wanted to wake up tomorrow with some sort of sleep as well as play video games all weekend. I went to bed shortly after that and I hoped to dream about video games and sleeping in. But my wish was not granted. The dreams that I had were interrupted by my dad. He ran into my room and said, "Are you coming?" It was 6 a.m. on a Saturday and I had no intentions of getting up, but that man's voice had me wide awake. With me being awake and not really feeling like I could fall back asleep, I said YOLO and went with them to my sister's volleyball tournament. Now, saying YOLO was like cool back in the day, so don't laugh at me. We got in the car and began our long trip to a town that was really far away. We arrived at around, 10 a.m., I guess you could say, and my sister was playing volleyball at 11. Once it got to 12, it was in between games, and my dad and I went to go eat some lunch. Now, being the kid that I was, I wanted to go eat McDonald's. Yummy. Everybody loved McDonald's when they were a kid. Once we got there, we ordered our food and everything was fine. I ate my food and then somehow I just realized that they had a huge play place in this thing. I wanted to go play in there so badly. It was huge and I saw some kids that looked like my age in there. I asked my dad if we could go in there for a little bit and he said it was fine. So I ran into the play place and my dad sat down. There was one other family in there. It was a mom with a baby boy as well as her older child. He looked to be around 10 years old. I got into the play place and I was the only kid in there. The other kids were sitting down eating and I knew they wanted to come up and join me so badly. I was in a weird part of the play place. There was a box and on the sides there were two slides going down on my left and right. In the middle there was a slide coming down to the box. So that middle slide is where I came from. I slid down there and then I somehow just landed in this little box and I didn't know which side to go down. The box I was in had no windows or cracks or anything. Nothing that I could even see out of. All of a sudden, I just slid down, and I figured it was the younger kid that I saw earlier and that he wanted to find me and play around the play place with me. But by the time the person's footsteps reached the slide, it seemed to be the kid's brother or something. Now, if you've ever seen me in real life or just seen a picture of me, you know my nose is bigger than most people's, but it's not that big in my opinion. So this kid slid down the slide and plopped into this small little box with me. We were looking at each other and I was like, is this kid okay? What does he want? Why is he staring? He looked at me for a long time and then he said, "You have a big nose," and then looked at me. This kid looked like the typical bully from every single movie that you've seen. He was just big and chubby. I didn't know what to do because we were in the smallest place you could think of in a McDonald's play place. So I decided it would be best for me to punch him right in the eye. I don't know why I did this, because looking at it now, I shouldn't have cared as much. But I punched him as hard as I could in the eyeball. Right after that, he started screaming and crying. And for a kid that looked older than me, I would not have expected him to cry. I thought he was going to do something back to me. Remember, we were in the smallest cube ever, and I had just socked a kid right in his eyeball. He didn't know what to do. He was looking at me crying, so he proceeded to slide down the slide while still screaming and crying. Now, both of these slides led right down to the start of the play place. And when we both got off our respective slides, he looked at me and then ran down to his mom. Me and him ran out of the play place like at the same time. And my dad, for some reason, was in the regular part of the restaurant and not in the play place. Right when I got to him, I told him I was ready to go and we needed to go now because I really didn't want to be late to see my sister play volleyball. That was a lie because I just didn't want to get caught for punching a kid in the play place. We got to the car and nothing happened. I didn't see the kid and they just stayed inside, I guess, and my dad never found out until I ended up telling him eventually. And he didn't care. He just said he was happy that I never got caught.
Hello everyone, bet you didn't expect me to come from there. Welcome to another video. What's that? T-Series has been in the lead for the past couple of days.
Let me cast your mind back a bit. August 16th, 2016, the first trailer for Infinite Warfare Zombies was revealed on YouTube. Zombies in Spaceland. Its reception, fairly mixed. And then on November 4th, 2016, Zombies in Spaceland was released and began the Infinite Warfare Zombies year. And it's fair to say that even though it didn't follow the same formula as what we used to with Treyarch Zombies, Infinite Warfare Zombies was actually quite popular. And looking over the years, it has grown a cult following. Even to this day, some people believe Infinite Warfare Zombies is the best zombies we've ever had. And in the cliffhanger ending from The Beast from Beyond, we're all waiting to see what happens next. Well, we have some sad news. As yesterday on Twitter, Lee Ross officially confirmed that he is now part of the Treyarch team, bringing his love for zombies to the Blackout mode and much more. Lee Ross, the birth daddy of the Infinite Warfare Zombies mode, does not work at Infinity Ward anymore and now works at Treyarch. This has been rumored for a long time now, but he's finally able to confirm it officially on Twitter, so we now know that it's true. So what does this mean for Infinite Warfare Zombies? Well, unfortunately, I think it means that Infinite Warfare Zombies is no more. It's been heavily rumored that Infinity Ward's game this year is Modern Warfare 4, and if it is, then there's no way on earth that Infinite Warfare Zombies is going to fit within that genre. And adding on to that, that Lee Ross, the creator of Infinite Warfare Zombies, who wrote every single Zombies map, is no longer at that studio working on Zombies, I can guarantee that we won't see Infinite Warfare Zombies return. So just like with Extinction, just like with Exo Zombies, Infinite Warfare Zombies is going to follow the same treatment. And out of all the modes that have come before it that weren't Treyarch Zombies, I'm actually a little bit sad about this one, because I think Infinite Warfare Zombies done enough to reinvent the Zombies formula and to make their mode unique and different from the others. It took a little while to get used to that pop culture weird vibe that Infinite Warfare Zombies had, but it had a clear direction with every single DLC map being vastly different from the other, with a huge range of different, very creative wonder weapons. Weapons and perks, some amazing map locations and design work, all layered down by a pretty mediocre storyline, I would say, but it was easy enough to follow and get into. And if you were to put Zombies mode side by side, Infinite Warfare Zombies is definitely the best non-Treyarch Zombies mode that we have received and probably will ever receive. Now, during its year, Infinite Warfare Zombies wasn't seen as ultimately popular or liked by most of the Zombies community. Everyone else wanted Treyarch Zombies, and Zombies Chronicles definitely didn't help Infinite Warfare. But it seems every year when a new Zombies mode comes out, everyone looks at the previous mode with retrospective goggles on and realizes that the mode wasn't actually that bad. So in hindsight, we probably expected Infinite Warfare Zombies 2, but with this news here, we can pretty much guarantee that Infinite Warfare Zombies will never return again. Now, this is actually pretty sad news because I really enjoyed it, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section about your thoughts on this. Are you sad that Infinite Warfare Zombies 2 isn't going to happen, or are you happy that it's not? I think one thing I can definitely say all of you will agree on is during the Infinite Warfare Zombies year, Lee Ross was incredibly open on Twitter. He was very charismatic, he'd reply to fans, he would drop teasers for DLC, he'd keep everyone in the loop and have that open discussion communication there. So when there was an issue with the mode, you could directly get a response from the main guy who created it. That is definitely something Treyarch could have utilized during the first few months of BO4's launch, but decided not to and keep the community in the dark. But they definitely have improved on their communication, and maybe Lee Ross had some input into that. Perhaps it was just all of our fan feedback wanting it to happen. Either way, his Twitter account definitely helped keep the conversation going with Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now, sad as some of you might be to hear this news, this is probably a good thing for Lee. Looking at it from a career perspective, Lee Ross has worked at Infinity Ward for a number of years. Perhaps he wanted something fresh and something different, and a Spire team like Treyarch is probably one which he's wanted to work on for a while. And a story which you may not know, which I heard from the man himself during a early DLC event, is that he nearly lost his life to a seizure in 2016. He was so dedicated to finishing the zombie season and having everything still finished on time, he was writing scripts in the hospital bed that he was in, and only a few days after being let out of hospital was straight back in the studio grinding out with his team to get the DLCs finished. Being under that much stress in that sort of condition is absolutely crazy that he managed to do it. And if he wanted something which wasn't more of a director role like that and just one where he can just crunch developer stuff, then this might be good for him. There's always multiple ways to look at any situation. But now we know that Lee Ross works specifically on Zombies in Blackout. What does that mean? Just looking at the sort of things he's created in Infinite Warfare Zombies, it's fair to say that his creative juices could really flow in Blackout. I'd be willing to bet that most of the zombie-related things that have happened in Blackout may have been because of decisions that Lee Ross has made and thought was cool. And when you look back through the Infinite Warfare Zombie season, there is dozens of very clever movie references from each decade of genre, such as Rave and the Redwoods with the 90s rave camp, Elvira in Attack of the Radioactive Thing, who was one of the biggest actresses in the time for the horror movie genre. So whatever he has been doing for Zombies in Blackout already looks to be good. We've had some crazy stuff added in. Blackout has seen quite a few zombie-specific additions, which could have all been down to Lee Ross's thoughts and decisions, such as the Buried remake that we've seen, as well as a remastered of Call of the Dead in there, Transit, Nuketown Island, and very recently the Mob of the Dead plane, because Alcatraz is going to be coming to the Blackout map. There's just tons of things, and we have seen recently that the zombies have been more involved in the Blackout mode by earning you more rewards and better equipment. The St. Patrick's Day event is a great example of that. But how awesome would it be down the line if Treyarch added in the IW Zombies characters into Blackout, or in some bizarre parallel world, Treyarch actually adds new playable characters into Zombies maps? That would be pretty crazy. I don't know if that would be possible, but since Activision own Infinity Ward and Treyarch, they can share assets between studios like it's stuffing, but since it's a Treyarch Black Ops game, I doubt we'd ever see that happen, at least not in the immediate future. But it looks like every time we get a significant update to Blackout which involves zombies, you have the obligatory Blackout gets more zombies content than zombies comments. And it might be all down to Lee Ross. Now I just want to sit you down for a second and go over some of the really cool things that Lee Ross added into the Zombies mode that we have never seen before and may see in Black Ops 4 Zombies as a result. The first being the Super Easter egg. That was absolutely huge of Infinity Ward to add that into Zombies, because Black Ops 3 had a very lackluster Super Easter egg reward, but it was something that we sort of built up in our heads to be something big, but in actual fact, Treyarch never intended on it. But Infinity Ward went all out with Director's Cut and the Super Easter egg boss fight, which was absolutely incredible. Director's Cut alone makes Infinite Warfare Zombies so much more replayable because it gives you an alternative way to play it, but making it a lot easier and rewarding the players that have gone through and put in all the hard work. It was also the first Zombies mode to have an entirely movie-based concept where every map was incredibly different and all based around the genre of a film as well as the decade. Besides that, Zombies has always been super serious, and this was the first to kind of make it bombastic and very different but enjoyable nonetheless. I think the most interesting thing to take from Lee's tweet is the fact that he says, "Bringing my love for Zombies to Blackout and much more." We don't know what the much more is, but it's something that's going to happen well into the future, as he tweeted below, very excited for the future. Perhaps maybe at this time he's not allowed to disclose what else he's working on for Black Ops 4, but if it's more than just Blackout, then what the heck is it? I'm really hoping that he's also sprinkling some magic into the actual Zombies mode. Perhaps maybe the fact that we're seeing new gauntlets added in very frequently, and perhaps this will open the doors to Zombies having a lot more things added in the future. We can only speculate because we don't know what the much more thing is, because all we know is he's working on Blackout, but if he's working on much more, there isn't really much more besides Zombies or multiplayer. Zombies is rumored to get a Season 2 of DLC content, and perhaps that could be something which he's working on in the background as well as with Blackout. Who really knows? If you have any ideas, let me know down below in the comments section. But I'm sure this video came as a bit of a sad surprise to those that were looking forward to the Willard Wyler saga continuing at some point. It's now the Willard Wyler.
Paintball today. We are doing Stewart's paintball, and the person has to capture this thing and take it back to their base. So, without further ado, let's bring out the teams. We have Elliot and Cray. Yep, there we go. Probably gonna fight each other. Spencer and Marcus. They said they didn't like each other before. The final team, Laserbeam and Fresh.
Hey.
The ultimate Fortnite.
Right here.
You did.
Hey guys. We weren't set up right, so we winged it. So we're here too. Is Fresh gonna carry me? I play Fortnite. He plays Fortnite. Hey.
Alright, let's get to it.
The rules are simple. Capture the jug stored in the middle of the map and get it back to your spawn point. If you get shot while trying to capture it, the bucket resets to the middle. All right, let's capture that flag. Capture the flag.
So basically, we're gonna try and run straight in. We're just gonna sprint and just cop it. We're gonna get the victory royale. Meme strats, bro. Is there any bushes?
Cray, what's the plan?
I reckon we hook this rock here left.
I'm gonna snipe you guys off the start! What happens, bucket?
Have a go look back. If I fall, then take that bucket.
If I fall, I'm leaving you. Wait, if you...
Oh. I might just drop the gun.
No, you can't. Pick up your gun.
Do I need a gun?
Pick up your gun. I don't know nothing there without a gun.
We begin
in 3, 2, 1, get the ball! Starting the bloody team!
He's got it!
Let's take it fire!
Oh my balls! Bad, what are you doing? taking this back to the middle. That's the dirty play. Beth, you shouldn't have thrown it back.
Get to that ASAP.
Target that side. Move. This is a really good spot here. Cray. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. We need to do tactics at the start of this round. We're going to take cover behind that barrier. That one there. That one there. Go. Okay, I'll cover fire. Go, 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 go. Go, Cray, go, Cray. Make it to the next one.
Watching that way, watching that way.
You're going to lead up to that one? I'm going. Safety's on! The safety's on, Marcus! Cray, I'm going to push up!
Between nothing I can do, Elliot. I wouldn't worry.
Covering fire!
They're right at it. They're right at it.
Where are those ones at? We got two left. We got two forward. You got to cover those ones on the left. All right, you ready? Yep. Cover it. Oh! Oh! That's a respawn.
Yeah, I'm going. I just got fucking hit in the skull.
Gotcha. Stop. I respect the place, Frank. I got a Cray. I have no energy in this. Oh, they still dead. I'm pinned down.
Check your back, Elliot.
They say when you rescue the hostage, keeping them alive is key. Luckily, it's an inanimate object. I've got the barrel. I'll do it. Jesus Christ, they're shooting the hostage.
My gun stopped fucking firing. I'm pushing up. Fire on them, boy!
Cray, I'm making a run for it.
Take the fire, take the fire.
Cray!
The boy fire.
I've got the barrel. We gotta get back to spawn.
We got two to go. We're getting lit up right.
You gotta get the barrel back. We gotta fight! You gotta move now!
Fire until Elliot has been killed!
I'm going up.
Go up, go up, go up!
We gotta move!
I can't cover right. I don't want to die.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make money move. Are you ready, Cray? Remember this moment.
Be quick. Marcus! We need a ceasefire to kill Elliot!
You should have told me he grabbed it.
I did tell you!
I thought you said he was down.
How much ammo?
Ah! Oh God, they got me dead.
He's down.
Oh. I swear I hit your head. I swear. What's my flag? It did? I got hit. No, I got hit.
Artifact is going back into the tube. Artifact is back in the tube.
I'm bent down. I've run fast before in Fortnite. Cover me.
I got hit.
Oh, Oh,
Got him.
goddamn. Fresh been hit? I can only cover one way, bro. You gotta go straight in.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh guys, I need a rest. I'm already out. Oh, sorry. I can't tell if you take cover.
Once again.
Oh,
He's got it.
he's got it again.
Sweating in my eyeballs.
Cray, This exercise is hard, man. Except the restaurant's not all right. Who's hard today, German? I'm gonna try and take the one on the right. You're gonna take
I'm going back to you first.
I did all the running last round.
No, I ain't running.
I did all the running last round.
I'm too scared.
Where's everybody? I'm in your bag.
Wait, is that you, Marcus? You don't start. I just got to spectate, mate.
My gun is... Gotcha, push now, Craig, push now!
Hold on. I think it's just...
London's gun
Nah, just
malfunctioning,
pull
go,
back.
go, 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 go! I got you covered! I'm back! Craig, get in there! Nice, Craig! Craig, what's our plan?
Take it a breath.
If you stop trying to be scummy, you might get me. Well, what else can I f***ing hit?
Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Elliot,
What?
I had bad asthma. You come to my position, but you come here. Good work, soldier. Take it. Ah! Right on the finger. Ah, man down.
Free forward!
Man down.
Free forward!
Hit. I can't get up.
There's a shield! Oh! Baza! Baza! I got a power weapon! Get ready to suppress your fire on Lannan. Wait, I'm gonna shoot Baz. I wanna get one last feeling, you know, for the culture. Focus them! Cease fire, boys! Why even bother shooting me? Wait, do they have it? Yeah! I just said it! Okay, we're not there yet. You go, I want you to finish it. Finish the mission! Go, 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 go! I'm covering fire! He's got it! I didn't know, Lana!
For my brothers. Yeah.
Second time in a row.
I'm so tired. I'm not cut out for this life. Get me back to the computer. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Click and capture the flag. While we were there, we also did a round of paintball battle royale. So if you want to see that video, make sure you're subscribed because it'll be out in just a couple of weeks. A huge shout out to Delta Force for letting us take over their field and do all these amazing...
Hey, what's up? I have to say that every time I...
see. 8.
I ever talk about the pumpkin launcher. Anyways, moving on to November 20th, we had the first, what I would say, like, weapon update of the game. That September 26th update really just felt like they were finishing the game at that point, of their initial build. But this was the one where it was like, oh, okay, Fortnite's going to be, like, updating this game with guns. That's pretty cool. At the time, I didn't think it was going to be so quick and readily, but this is really what I would say marks where we just started seeing update after update after update. And again, the suppressed SMG kind of shared the same mechanics of other SMGs. Just,
do you need the most trusted battery in your noise-canceling headphones? Maybe not. Maybe you can trust your flight attendant won't be the chatty type.
Do a death run with the boys. Make some noise. Drop a like. No, while we're waiting, use creative code NBCam within the item shop. Preston, we got player 1 and player 2. I feel like you have to go 2 because it's red. Okay, I'll take on number 2. Let's do this thing. Oh wait, shoot, we should read this. You and your teammate have to help each other complete the death run on your separate sides. Good luck. Big smile. Big smile.
This is
All right.
Hey guys, Kenneth here. Today I'm going to give you a review of the Rubik's Touch Cube. As most of you know, the Rubik's Touch Cube is the first fully solvable electronic Rubik's Cube. The way it works is there's a touch screen on each side, and only the touch screen on the top is the one that's active. So to move a layer, all you do is swipe your finger. The middle layers also move, so you can swipe the middle layer. And you can also move the top layer by doing a swipe from edge to edge. So if you go like this, you can see the whole top layer move. I can move it back by going from this edge to that edge. That move, actually takes a while to get down. When I first tried it, I couldn't do it, but after some practice, I can do that now quite easily. So there's a button on the middle of each side. This button here will turn on and off the touch cube. This button gives you a hint.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris. Just pretty won it in my entire video. I went through every single comment, not a single comment with the correct time. There is a hidden llama in this video, so if you guys guessed that time correctly and put it in the comments, I will randomly pick a comment with the correct time. I don't know if it was just really hard last time or what, but literally nobody it was crazy. I was very surprised, but so there is a hidden llama in this video. Go in the comments after one the correct time on the screen for a shout out in my next video. And my supporter creator code is ChrisYouTube, one word. Obviously you guys do not support me, but please support a creator because it helps us out a lot. And I am sponsored by Control Freaks. For those who don't know what Control Freaks are, they are basically performance thumbsticks that you put on your controller, whether it's PS4, Xbox One, or even Nintendo Switch. And they're only like $15, and you can use my code Chris for 10% off your itself. Guard should be all red instead of this black and red, and I don't know, I just feel like red, white, and blue should have been the main color scheme, but there's a whole lot of like black in the actual outfits, like the shoe, the shin guard, the belt. even like on like the actual like vest itself. I don't know. I just feel like the skin, the colors could have been a lot better. The female version is like 10 times better looking than this. And yeah, I feel like the male version, sorry, just kind of fell short here. I was just talking about it, but here it is. The Star Spangled Banter is at the number 4 spot, with once again being last seen 260 days ago. This is how to do it. Like, honestly, I know there's still like black on the shoes and the shin guards and all that. But this looks 8,000 times better just because of this, like the all blue pants, and there's kind of like a cool transition there with the stripes because it's the actual torso versus the red, white, and blue. Obviously, looks really, really clean. My friend Nate has the skin. He doesn't play Fortnite anymore, but he does have the skin, and it's actually pretty cool now because it is one of the rare skins in the game, and it's extremely.
Like the wrong thing, and I'm serious, that's a little theory I've got in my head. Article 13 is one of those things where you feel like you understand it, but deep down you don't. And that's mostly due to the fact that the people who even made the law and have now implemented it have no idea as well. However, what you kind of do know about it is that it is going to begin to affect the way the internet works. Most specifically for me and those of you guys in the EU, and also eventually for those of you worldwide. Yeah, you're not safe. Also, no, I am re-recording this. The previous video was 48 minutes of rambling. I'm going to try and actually figure it out this time before I start speaking. Now, let me give you guys a nice hypothetical example of a situation that I'm currently in. YouTube is an amazing little thing where I've played games, and somehow in this little corner of the internet, 1.9 million subscribers nearly, and by the way, thank you for that, have decided to join me on this journey where literally I'm just playing games, acting like a fool, and I guess making people laugh, whether it's at me or at the game, I actually have no idea. And then a politician comes along and sees that and says, I wonder how we can make some money from this for ourselves. And instead what they've actually done is within the next 2 years, my content might completely be blacklisted and I may never exist again. Now, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but sometimes it pays to be that way, because currently with Article 13 and then branded 50, then branded 17, this is a new law which will most certainly be affecting myself and all other EU content creators, and also you guys watching as well. And it's going to be one of those things where over the next 2 years, all over the EU, it's going to be spread out nice and evenly, and then everyone's going to see the effects depending on how their country chooses to implement it. And I'm rambling again. Now let me try and back up and explain what exactly will be happening, I guess, to my knowledge. Currently, when the copyright system on YouTube is in place, you will get your video copyrighted, and that claim goes towards the user. However, this law for some reason seeks to blame the website themselves, even though YouTube has 300 hours of footage uploaded every minute, so it's like impossible to monitor. Yet still, if one of the people within those 300 hours of footage so much as put one own, instantly YouTube will be to blame. And if you think that sounds ridiculous, yeah, we're all on the same page here. This creates many complications for the system. One of the more specific ones is that how is YouTube supposed to be able to monitor that much content? And it's simple, they can't. Now there has been discussion of some kind of robotic AI somehow looking through all of that content and maybe overblocking, which will happen by the way. You already know how the robot sometimes limits your videos, copyright stuff, and then it turns out to be false. Well, it's going to happen a lot more. Let's kind of bring it back to the YouTube copyright system at this moment in time, and really how much it's abused as is. Twitter is a common place where you hear about these absolutely bizarre copyright claims being created on behalf of people, or whether it's 2 seconds of a video clip, a 6-year-old vine of a kid getting a basketball thrown at his head. There are companies out there that will try to take 100% profit of your video, and in some cases you can definitely dispute that and actually win. However, this law kind of takes your ability to say it's fair use straight back in the hands of the person making the original claim, and kind of points the finger and says, this dude is right. I don't know why this represents the dude. It's them who they have to listen to. So unfortunately, if this guy chooses to
about some of the possible consequences that I'm going to talk about right now. So a list of things of what could happen once Article 13 becomes a thing within the next 2 years. All 1,200 of my videos, at least currently, could be completed against my will due to the phobia of one of those containing some copyrighted content. I would have zero control over this, and YouTube would have to abide by this, I suppose, based on their own rules. Because if something is found in one of those videos, then they will have to be liable for what is within, and maybe cough up the money to the copyright owner, however much they may ask. Also, the way I use video game soundtracks